My first big hint is about steam heating. Steam is a closed system. By that I mean when the water is heated up to 212, it makes steam, it goes up through the pipes, hits the radiators, the cast iron radiators, becomes condensate, and returns to the boiler. Therefore, you should not have to add much water, maybe once a month, every 2 weeks during the heating season. Anyway, this is my prized Weil Mclain 78 steam boiler with 4 sections, a small commercial version for my house. I put it in about a dozen years ago and I thought it was home free. I had all new pipes, new automatic water feeder, and new vents for the radiators. Fast forward, now, a dozen years later, here is still my prized boiler that I had to have replaced, now with a Weil Mclain 80, 4 sections. So you ask, what happened? Well, remember H2O. In water there is oxygen. And oxygen is what will deteriorate cast iron over a period of time. So at some point my system developed a leak and required more water, and because I had an automatic water feeder, it just went in without my having to monitor it. And this is the result: rust, corrosion, leaking. At the end of the operation of this boiler, I was putting water in every day just to get heat and hot water. So please, if you have a steam system, try to monitor the water intake. If you have an automatic water feeder, turn it off. During the heating season, monitor how much water goes in. If it's using too much water, check for leaks. And beyond my experience, which I didn't have 12 years ago, if you're putting in a new one, have your system pressure tested. Find out if there are any leaks. You cannot assume that by putting in new vents in your radiators that you will avoid a leak. It could be as small as a pinhole leak where the steam is escaping. In addition, I just want to also add, when you have your system cleaned, usually annually, go down and talk to the man or woman, but mostly men, and see if they're cleaning everywhere. This is under the hood. I don't think my hood was ever removed. And look at this soot and corrosion. Also in the fire chamber. I understand they're supposed to take that front off and clean, but in my case they didn't. There's probably at least 2 inches of buildup there. And that didn't create the leak, but that will not be efficient, and it's better to have that all cleaned. That's what you're paying for. And one last thing, if you have an automatic water feeder, turn it off, and as I said before, monitor the amount of water going into your system. But you also want to have a hose and a bucket nearby, because my automatic water feeder broke, and when I got down to the boiler, the water was way beyond the gauge, but I was fortunate. I had a hose and a big bucket, and I lowered the water and got it back to where it should have been. But if you're not careful, that could go on, and then you'll have water coming down through your ceilings. So good luck. That's my information I wanted to share. And remember, steam is a closed system.